Hi, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Starting today, I will be posting videos of myself reading the material that we were going to cover when we were in school. You can listen to the reading as many times as you need to, and then there's a follow-up question on the Google Classroom, and you'll see the question and the instructions. The first one is very much like a notice and wonder, but with specific instructions. If I ask you to look up a word, you can look it up on your phones, on your computers, in dictionaries if you have them. This video is going to be an introduction and chapter 1 of the book we're reading, which is called Shipwreck at the Bottom of the World, the story of Shackleton and the Endurance. And it's going to take place in Antarctica, and it's actually pretty impressive. So I'm just going to read the back to you first so you know what it's going to be about. It says, award-winning author Jennifer Armstrong recounts one of the most extraordinary adventure stories in history. In August 1914, Ernest Shackleton and 27 men sailed from England in an attempt to become the first team of explorers to cross Antarctica. When their ship, Endurance, broke apart and sank, the explorers began a perilous journey even after months of navigating treacherous ice floes and stormy seas. 800 miles of open ocean remained between Shackleton's crew and a chance for safety. Defying the odds, 6 men set out on a 20-foot boat to save them all. There are photographs in this book as well that I'll try and show. You can always pause or screenshot if you need to in order to better answer any of the questions I might ask you. Here's a photograph of the men on this ship. And then it has all of their names and professions, which is pretty cool. There's jobs like first officer, chief engineer, surgeon, biologist, meteorologist, geologist, physicist, artist. I wonder what they needed an artist for. Motor expert, expedition photographer, carpenter, cook, steward, seaman, fireman, all of the above. If you were to Google the Endurance, the original plans of the Endurance, that's the name of the ship that they were traveling, you could better see some of these blueprints. They're all public, and you can see how the boat looks and some of the way it was planned and built so that you might have a better understanding of what kind of boat they were riding. In addition, if you also Google, you could probably come up with these images. There's maps of Antarctica and the travel space that they went through. Okay, so just imagine is what the title of chapter 1 is. Just imagine yourself in the most hostile place on Earth. It's not the Sahara or the Gobi Desert. It's the Arctic. The most hostile place on Earth is the Antarctic, the location of the South Pole. North Pole, South Pole, what's the difference? The Arctic is mostly water, with ice on top, of course, and that ice is never more than a few feet thick. But under the South Pole lies a continent that supports glaciers up to 2 miles in depth. Almost the entire southern continent is covered by ice. This mammoth ice cap presses down so heavily that it actually distorts the shape of the Earth. The ice never melts, it clings to the bottom of the world, spawning winds, storms, and weather that affect the whole planet. And all of the weather it creates, the weather the Arctic creates for itself, is by far the worst. In the winter, the temperature can sink to 100 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. Cold air masses sliding down the sides of the glaciers speed up until they become winds of close to 200 miles per hour. When winter descends on the southern continent, the seas surrounding the land begin to freeze at the terrifying rate of 2 square miles every minute until the frozen sea reaches an area of 7 million square miles, about twice the size of the United States. It is truly the most hostile environment this side of the moon. Just imagine yourself stranded in such a place. In 1915, a British crew of 28 men was stranded there, with no ship and no way to contact the outside world. They all survived. One of the things I'll be asking you is to name three things you noticed about the description of Antarctica. So that entire section, if you need to listen to it again, talks about what kind of environment that these men were really stuck in, so that you can get a better feel of what they had to overcome in order to survive. Another part of the question is me asking you what are two questions you have. That would be kind of like a wonder if we were doing a notice and wonder. And again, I also want you to define the words hostile and stranded. You can look them up again on your phone, on your computer, in any capacity. We can read the next chapter in our next video. It's a little bit longer, so I'm going to stop this one right here, and I hope you're all doing really well, and I look forward to hearing your responses. Please do them in order. It'll make the most sense, so this would be the first one. Thanks. Bye, guys.